Hey sisters, and welcome to Your Big Sisters podcast. I am so excited to have you here. This is our very first episode, so we have so much to cover. First off, I just wanted to introduce myself. My name's Alexa. I live in downtown Tampa. I have grown up having so many big sisters to look up to, continue to still do, and so I wanted to share everything I've learned from them, but just like from my own experiences too, on how to get through life, because life can be so hard sometimes, but it's our choice to be that sunshine in the middle of the storm. So first, I have so much to cover, and I've been through so much, especially in the last 4 to 5 years, but I don't want to get too into that today. What I do want to get into is how to get through it when something hard happens. So back over a little bit a year ago, honestly, the idea of this podcast was born, and my friend Sophia had just gone through something, and she came over and she's like, I know that you've been through so many hard things, and I just want to know how did you do that? And so it helped me write down an actual step-by-step guide that I actually just got to use when my dad passed away a couple months ago. So first thing you're going to do is you are going to feel all of your feelings, like all of them. You're going to feel all of the sadness, all of the anger, all of the guilt, all of even the joy in the middle of it, but mostly you're going to feel the hard feelings, because if you don't feel them, they're going to come back and they're going to haunt you later on in life, and that is going to be even worse and even harder to deal with. Don't be that person who's going to tell your friend, don't cry, it's going to be okay, because although it may be okay one day, telling them not to feel their feelings is just going to push them to be stronger before they're ready, and there is a lot of strength in wearing your heart on your sleeve. A lot of people don't do it because we are taught for such a young age that we're supposed to build up this wall and close yourself off to everybody else and not let them into your life. But what's the point of living if you're not connecting with other people? Please feel your feelings. Please lean on your friends, which we're going to get into a little bit later. Something that I've experienced is I just feel so much that I don't actually know what I'm feeling. So things I like to do are journal and write down all my feelings, because it literally feels like spaghetti in my head, and I just need to write it out, see what I'm feeling, why I'm feeling it, or I call a friend. So if you're feeling so much, make sure you have that friend that is going to listen to you, and you're going to feel all those feelings and not be so harsh on yourself when that does happen. Continuing on to feeling all your feelings, you are going to set yourself a certain amount of time to feel all these feelings and just feel these feelings and not try to get better. And I know that sounds crazy, but there is a time frame in which that is allowed to happen dependent on the thing that you've been through. Not saying one thing is harder than the other, but the thing that I just went through, it took me a full month of just feeling my feelings before I could even get off the ground. A lot of people think that you can start healing once that pain has gone away, and that is just not the case. You literally have to get up crying. I'm so serious. Once that time has come, I mean this with all the love in my heart. I don't believe in tough love, but get up. Like, please get up. You are so much stronger than you think you are, and you don't have to get up and go heal yourself entirely in that same day, but you can get up and you can go for a walk. You can get up and you can call a friend. You can get up and you can go eat lunch, take a shower, whatever that baby step means for you today. You have to do it every single day, especially, not even, especially when you don't want to. The next thing that I think is super important is to have a therapist that is an outside person, from somebody that knows your outside circle, that can help guide you. And I think what's super important about therapy that a lot of people may or may not do is they don't tell them every bit of information. Maybe this is just myself projecting, but for me, like, I want people to be impressed by who I am. I don't want people to be like, oh, you messed up. Oh, you didn't handle that good. You're not going to learn anything if you don't share every single detail of every single aspect of the situation. You are supposed to make mistakes. You are not supposed to handle hard things perfectly. You are gonna mess up, and it is going to be okay. I was stopped in my tracks one time by this song, and it was about taking dancing steps. And I think life is a lot like dancing, where you take a lot of steps forward, you take a lot of steps back, you take a lot of side steps. But the important thing is that life is the entire dance. It's a whole routine. As long as you don't stop moving your feet, you are growing. 5 steps forward and 1 step back is still growth. There's so much in between, and if we take so much time to beat up ourselves about that 1 step back, whether it's something we have control over or we don't have control over, you're never going to be able to take that 3 steps forward again. Hold on to your partner, to your friends, to your community, to your faith, so you don't stop that dancing routine. The next thing I'm going to get into is leaning into your faith, whether that means God, Jesus, the universe, whatever you believe in. It's so important that you lean into those things that you believe in and the values that you stand on, because when you're in the worst time of your life, you have to lean on that foundation. For me, I consider myself having a parent-like relationship with God, and I think it's the most beautiful thing I've ever experienced in my life. I look at God as a father, a parent. He loves me unconditionally. So you are so allowed to be mad at God. There is so much opinion and outside noise that says that you have to consistently praise him in a positive manner, but I don't think that enough value is taken on the moments that you are screaming at him because you are so upset and confused at what is going on in your life. Because when you're doing that, he knows that you unconditionally love him back enough that you can be your complete and raw, beautiful self, even if it's the hardest, ugliest moment of your life. And I've done that more times than I can count, and I feel like those moments brought me sometimes even closer than the ones that I was blessed in, because I know that I had that intimate moment with him. Please lean on your community. I personally struggle being a burden for the people around me because I have gone through a lot in a short amount of time, and I think people are probably tired of listening to my story and listening to me go through something all the time. And I just want to remind you that your friends really want to be there for you. That is one of the most beautiful parts of life, is connecting and being there for the people that love you, and also being there for them when you are in not a good space, because there is some kind of healing moment that happens when you're helping somebody else while you're going through it. And I think that a lot of people think that you have to be at your best full capacity to be there for somebody else, but just like I believe in my faith, a mustard seed of belief is more than enough. That's all you need. It's just as much as you can give somebody else, that's as far as I need you to go for your friends, because you are only going to have a community if you are that villager. People think that you can just step out and have a big group of friends, but the thing is that you have to be a good friend to have good friends. So please make sure that you are showing up for your community, so that when it is your time, that you have them there to lean on too. They want to be there for you, and they love you so much. I don't know who lied to you and told you differently. Trauma sticks with you physically, and it catches up with you in a sickening way if you do not handle it. I did one of the most incredible experiences a couple years ago where I did a breath work where I got to release some emotions, and I know that's not accessible to everybody, but just like back to step 1, if you are feeling sad, cry. If you are feeling angry, scream. Do not let that energy trapped inside of you stay there, because it is going to manifest into something that is going to be incredibly more dangerous. Another thing you can do is take it out during physical exercise. That's why I know it's so important to move my body, because a lot of people work out to look a certain way, but I started working out to feel a certain way. I grew up a competitive baton twirler my entire life, and when I would perform on either the competition floor or the football field, I felt so much joy, but I also felt a lot of growing pains during practice and all those outside experiences that weren't stage. And so that's what physical exercise has also brought for me, is doing things that are really, really hard and that don't always feel good in the moment, but they do have their rewarding moments when it feels really good on your body later on, and it gives you a space where you can release all of the things that are pent up in your body, whether it's positive or negative. It just like really gives me a space. Luckily for me, I have the best fitness community ever, Annex Athletic Club. I love you so much. While you're doing all those healing things at once, I need you to look for something positive in every single day, especially when you truly cannot see the light. Because when you practice doing that on the good days, on the hard days, it makes those hard days not so heavy. God gives his strongest soldiers the toughest battles. And although a lot of us are probably exhausted from being drafted so many times, I can't express enough how important that resilience and those reps and those practice for looking for the good in the bad is going to pay off. I don't know if there's going to be a day where everything is just perfect and there's going to be a reason specifically that all those hard things have happened, especially with my dad passing. I cannot think of a good reason on why that happened, but I do know that you don't have a good life, you make a good life. And it is not your fault for what has happened to you, but it is entirely your responsibility to heal yourself and to make that good life so that you can pass that on to everybody around you. If it's so dark, how am I supposed to find that positive light? Like, where am I supposed to get that happiness? And you create it. You love on other people. You look for something that can make your day better. And a lot of the things that bring me so much joy are seeing other people be happy, and like I said, it's entirely our responsibility to do that. And so it could be something as easy as just like complimenting somebody's outfit, telling someone you love their smile, or just praising who they are, because the world is a really hard place, and it's just so much better when we encourage each other to go through it. And then that joy is created and it comes right back to you, and that is your happy moment of the day. And while you're looking to create that love and that happiness, make sure you're filling up your own cup so that it fills up so much that you could absolutely overflow into everybody else around you. I love the saying that is, love yourself first so you can love others more. And I really want to live by that, where I am somebody that can walk into a room and everyone can just feel that love and I don't have to say anything. That is just truly my goal in life. Another way to look for something good is to book something weekly that you know is going to make you smile, whether that's go for a walk with a friend or to go take a favorite workout class that you love to do, or go to a concert. That's what I did last year. I spent a dumb amount of money and I went to the Taylor Swift concert, and I have no regrets about that. That's really healed me, but it actually really just pushed me to have enough joy in my body that I could get through the next part of healing. So I'm not encouraging you to spend a crazy amount of money, but I am encouraging you to have something booked every single week that you know is going to force you out of your house, out of that sad moment, so that you can go make happiness for the day. Me and my therapist came up with a 3-step plan that when I am feeling absolutely disgusting, that I can do, so I know it's going to help me out of that rut, so I can go out and do that fun thing that week. My first step is I'm going to call a friend. I am a social butterfly, unfortunately for me, and so I do thrive off of other people's interactions. So I have a list of friends that I call in that order if I need somebody and I know I'm just like feeling, My next thing is blush and mascara. That sounds so silly, but seriously, putting on blush and mascara makes me feel so much more confident. And I actually forgot the last thing. Let me look this up real quick. Guys, I already said it. It's go for a walk. I live on the Riverwalk, so I love going outside. It literally makes me immediately happy. And actually have a fourth step, and it's reading that quote on my wall, and it is one of my favorite quotes of all. And it's by Scott Fitzgerald, and it says, "She was beautiful for the way that she thought. She was beautiful for the sparkle in her eyes when she talked about something she loved. She was beautiful for her ability to make other people smile, even if she was sad. No, she wasn't beautiful for something as temporary as her look. She was beautiful deep down to her soul." In a world full of social media comparison and trying to be the prettiest person on social media, try instead to be the prettiest person on the inside, and I promise you, you'll be way more successful. The world needs so much more love. It needs so much more positivity. It needs so much more sunshine and brightness, and there are so many horrible things going on, and you don't have the ability to change the whole world, but you have the ability to change somebody else's world, even if it's for a minute of their day, and that will always be enough. So that is my 10-step plan on how to get through something hard. And the secret is that it doesn't get better once you do all those things, that you have to actively, continuously do them. There are still moments that my emotions just completely overtake me and I cry and I let it out, but I promise myself later on that I am also going to get up that day and do those things to become better and to heal better. I hope more than anything in this world that this podcast is somewhere that you can go to sit on your best friend's bed, on your big sister's bed, and that's why I'm sitting on my bed, because I wanted this to be like I was in college in my sorority house, and I'd jump on my roommate's bed and we just would have all of the laughs, all the tears, and just gain connection and make each other feel loved, and I wanted that to be what I put out into the world. And I just want to remind you that if you don't believe in yourself, please take my belief in you just for the 5 minutes that you need to get through it, and know how incredibly and deeply and beautifully loved you are. And I am so proud of you for getting through the day.